First off, I want to say sorry about the upside down gauges here. Not sure what happened. I had to go into my video editor and flip the whole video, but here we go, off to the start. Got a heck of a jump behind Anthony Lazzaro here, and pretty much a drag race up the hill, and we were pretty close, but seems like I had the inside line here. I was going to tell him to go by, but my hand caught the wind there, and as you see, it just went flying. So down the hill here, and pretty much with the way I was running, I knew J.R. Osborne, there he is, and Andy Kiker, that were a little bit quicker than me. I knew they were going to be coming, so there goes J.R. And I think Andy gets me down the back stretch at the very, very end. But yeah, through the corners here, you can see me fighting the wheel, especially on right-hand turns. I was working on setup for right-handers, which the majority of the right-handers on the track are. I'm sorry, the majority of the turns on this track are right-handers. And I was struggling with front-end grip. I was really pushing up on acceleration, and what I could feel was the power of the motor was just shifting the weight. And here comes Andy here, and the red flag comes up right at the start-finish line. But back to the handling, when I would accelerate, it would really transfer the weight to the rear. This red flag. It would transfer the weight to the rear, and I would just lose all kind of front end grip on hard acceleration. So second restart, Brian Wilhelm in front of me. I get to start, and I decide to take the outside roundabout way, and lo and behold, I stuck it and got out in front, and that was fun. That was a good one. But yeah, get up through here, and like I said, I knew JR and Andy Kiker were coming. They were a lot quicker than me back here through the S's. So as I see them poking their head, I let those guys go. I wanted those two to have their own battle, and I wanted to lay back behind them and watch their lines and see if I could keep up, and that's when I realized just the handling in my cart. You'll see here, I get behind JR, and he just loses me through the S's here, and that could be driving as well. I'm not going to claim that I'm the best driver in the world, but yeah, so that was a lot of fun. We get up the hill here. I think I missed the shift, and you know, I'm struggling with the transmission for whatever reason on this PVP. It seems like I missed going into fourth gear, and lo and behold, that was the gear that broke. It broke on me last race at Blackhawk as well. Here comes Andy again. With the race continuing now, I was able to kick myself in the ass here a little bit, and to give a better attempt at keeping up with Andy. As you'll see here, we pretty much were side by side the whole way down the straight here. I told him, go ahead, go get JR, and figured let me see what I can do to keep up with these guys, because they were flying. Andy set, I believe it's going to be a Supercar 250 track record. 1 minute and 42 seconds flat. I'm giving Andy a little bit of heck there, but didn't last long. Once we get up the hill here and we get back into these S's again, either my driving or the handling, I just could not stay with these guys through this back section. Front section, we were pretty neck and neck, but the back half here, not good. But I was really happy to even, stay this close with them for this long. Definitely the kart is quicker this year. The handling is about the same. The driver might be worse, but You can really see here how far out, you know, Andy stretched the lead and JR. By the time we get to here, I mean, these guys are, you know, I'm going to say that's a good 100, 150 feet. JR is probably 200-300 feet way out ahead of me. That was the part I got to work on back there. So, I think we come by here, and I do believe this was my personal best lap of a 144. I think so. Let's see. Yeah, boom, 144.88. I think my Micron said 144.77. So real happy about that. Last year my best was a 145.6. So looks like I shaved off almost a second. So again, really, really happy about that. So at this point, I think I gave it one more try on a lap here, and then you'll hear somewhere here I basically either miss a shift or the gear broke. I think it's towards the end of this lap. And then once that happened, I was pretty much done, because I slowed way down, and on top of that my water temp was reading 180. I'm not sure why, not sure how that happened, but it stayed 180, so I stuck with it. And again, I have no idea what internally is going on with my motor, but I did drive it in and everything was running, everything was okay. So I got my fingers crossed for just a broken tooth or a broken collar or something on the fourth gear, and pull it out, put a new one in, and be good to go. But yeah, once this lap was over, I had to shift from third to fifth, and that didn't work, obviously, and so it slowed me down. If my best was a 145, let's say, with not having fourth gear, my lap times probably dropped a good 8 seconds. That gave an opportunity for Mr. Brian Wilhelm to come up, and he was first time on the track with his new kart, on this track with his new kart, so he was getting better and better with each lap, coming, and he caught me with two laps to go, maybe a lap and a half, somewhere in there. I tried to pick it up as best I could to even get close to him, and fourth gear is where you're at a good majority, it's a good enough part of the track you're in fourth gear here that without it, I just didn't have a shot. Bogging fifth gear out, just didn't work. So ended up fourth. Again, I'm still happy with that. I learned a lot. The motor's running as strong as it ever has. West Racing, Johnny West has made, really tuned that motor. As you guys all know, I spent a couple weeks and a couple hundred dyno runs trying to get this motor dialed in, and I'm really happy with the results. The RTD ignition worked flawlessly. I do believe I have a fuel pressure issue that is making my kart break up at high RPMs, and so I got to look into that. My fuel pressure regulator during the race decided to come unlocked, I want to say. I can dial in what fuel pressure I want, and it would, due to the vibration, it would just shut off, or it would go all the way down to the lowest setting, and I would lose pressure, and of course without fuel can't run. So hey, thanks for watching, and hopefully this tutorial was good.